Great. So, hi everybody. Welcome to this intro session of 30 Days of Google Cloud. I am Dhwani Gupta. And the agenda that we will be discussing today is what is Google Cloud, what is cloud computing, what are the benefits of cloud computing, and what are the actual services that can be used in the Google Cloud. We will also be giving you a live demo of how to do a Google Cloud Platform lab using Qwiklabs. And at the end, we will be happy to take up any questions that you might have. Ayush, can you move forward, please? So, hi there, I'm Dhwani, and I am the GDSC lead for this term. We have a GDSC club at our college, and I'm sure you've heard a lot about it. And if you wish to be a part of this club, just text us on Instagram or drop a message on our LinkedIn channels. We will be sharing our social media links regularly in the chat box so that you don't miss on to them. And this year, I'm also the Google Cloud facilitator, and I will be there to help you and guide you through the process of this 1 month. We will be doing the labs together. We will make sure, me and my core team will make sure that you don't face any problems and that we are always there to help you. Ayush, kindly move forward. Thank you. So Vinayak Khajuria was the ex-DSC lead, and he said he will join us, but he had to actually skip out. So maybe he'll join us at about 6:15. Let's hope so. Let's hope we hear from our ex-GDSC lead and ex-Google facilitator. Next. Great. So we will be explaining to you what the tracks are. Actually, in 30 days of Google Cloud, what you're supposed to do is you're supposed to complete two tracks. You can either do one or you can do both. Doing both is very good, and doing one is equally good. So basically, there are two tracks. One is the cloud engineering track, and one is the data science and machine learning track. I'll explain these tracks to you in detail after we do some basic discussion about what Google Cloud is. For your knowledge, we are a core team of 7 people, including myself. So we have divided the tracks into three people per track. So Vigyapal Salathia, Raghav Sharma, and Ankit Mahajan will be handling the first track, that is Google Engineering track, Cloud Engineering track. They will complete the track as soon as possible, and they will help you with the same. The data science and machine learning track will be handled by Ayush Bhatt, Rishabh Singh Jamwal, and Mohabbat Tabish. We will be sure to be available for you, and we will organize more such sessions like this one so that we can answer all of your questions. Next one. So now from here on, I hand over the podium to Ayush. Ayush, kindly take over. Thank you.
Hello everyone. First of all, I would like to thank everyone for joining in. I am Ayush Bhatt, a third year CSE student, and today on behalf of GDSC MIET, I am going to discuss about Google Cloud. So let us begin with what is cloud computing. Cloud computing is the on-demand delivery of IT resources over the internet with pay-as-you-go pricing. Let us put some emphasis on pay-as-you-go pricing model versus the traditional IT cost model, and let us see what are the benefits of pay-as-you-go pricing. First, in pay-as-you-go cloud computing, it is a method for cloud computing that charges based on the usage of the resources. So here we have to pay on the basis of usage of the services. Whereas what happens in the traditional IT cost models, it requires the upfront capital for hardware and software installation. Like in traditional IT models, first we need to invest in infrastructures like buying servers, routers, switches, and a huge cost is spent on the maintenance of the infrastructure as well. Whereas in pay-as-you-go pricing model, we don't need to pay such large upfront charges. Like what happens in pay-as-you-go pricing, we don't need to buy, own, or maintain any physical data centers. We can access services such as computing power, databases, storage on an as needed basis from the cloud service provider, which will be in this case is Google Cloud. Let's move to another point. Let us discuss who is using cloud computing. it is used almost in every organizations. So where does the industry is using it? The cloud is being used for data backups, disaster recovery, in also in the software development and testing part. Some examples, like we can see here, is health care companies are using cloud to develop personalized treatments for the patients. Financial service companies like banks are using it for the real-time fraud detection. And also the AR/VR facilities of the cloud are being used by the video game makers. Now, let us see what are the main benefits of the cloud computing, because of which the so much new startups are attracting towards cloud computing. So first one is the agility feature. So if I describe it shortly, it is like in just a matter of seconds, you can use the resources as you need them, because Google Cloud provides us the infrastructure services such as compute, storage, and databases. It also provides us machine learning facilities, and also it provides us the services for the like for handling big data. The second one is the elasticity. Elasticity in it means like we can easily we can easily scale the resources up or down based on our demand. And also here the same point, that is we have to pay only for the services that we are using. And like what is like deploying globally in some minutes. It is like we can expand to new geographic regions, like we can deploy our servers in India or US regions, or in, I can say, in Italy region. So if I take an example here, so like the if you are if you are having an application, and you see that a majority client requests on a server is coming from the US region, then you can simply deploy the servers in the zones available in the US regions. So what happens is that it will give the lowest latencies to the client. Now moving to the different types of cloud computing. So some of the types are like infrastructure as a service. What it does, it provides access to the networking features, computers, and data storage. So if I go a little bit and provide some example, so it will be like you will be going through the labs and you will see how to create VPC and what are subnet, and all the networking part you can do there. Second part is like platform as a service. Like this is the one of the most I can say core features of the cloud computing. So here we don't need to worry about the resources. Like if you decide to launch a web server, simple example, so you don't need to worry like how much RAM, how should I manage RAM, or how much hard disk I need. You can just go to the Google Cloud and say that I need this much RAM, this much hard disk, and you can just write some code and launch your servers. Second one is like software as a service. With software as a service, you don't have to think about the maintenance part or the underlying infrastructure. Like if I try to give the example, uh, we can here consider the example of Gmail. So like when you use Gmail, we are not worrying about how to host our own email. So we just go, we just open the Gmail and just write our simple mails. We don't think what the infrastructure is being used by the Google for maintaining it. And like if you are familiar with some machine learning, you might also be knowing that there is provided by the Google, that is Google Colab notebooks. So like we do there we can just write a machine or a machine learning or deep learning code without no need for us to worry about like how Google is managing, what distros are they using, either they are using Windows or Linux. So so we have no worries here. Now coming to the global network of GCP region, like it is we can see that it has been spreaded over the 200 countries and 5 zones, and it is still they are planning to come up with new data centers in almost every country. Like if I define some of the words, region, So it is a geographical region just host your resources. And if there I see is there like there are regions, you can see in the last there are regions. So what happens is like in every country they have some regions, they have particular regions, and inside the regions they have three or more zones where the data center is located. Now there's another keyword like network edge locations. It is like a data center, but it's kind of a small data center. It is used to provide the lowest latencies to the end user. Now we will see some statistic part. Like we can see like here 8 out of 10 top communication companies are using Google Cloud to maintain their infrastructure. Also media and entertainment companies are like exploiting or using, and software and internet companies. By this, what I want to convey is like Google Cloud, like the cloud facilities are like almost used in like top companies, and even the startups are using it to leverage the power. Recommended to have this skill. Now the next slide. So these are some of platform products. Uh, some examples of platform as a service, software as a service, which solves our day-to-day use cases. If I briefly describe some of them, are like compute engine, where you can run the virtual machines in cloud storage. We have a feature of the object storage. If object storage is more similar like the Google Drive, it is called the object storage. And like Google Cloud SDK, it is the command line interface for interacting with the Google Cloud. Similarly, there are many like Cloud SQL, GKE, the Google Kubernetes Engine. These are more related to the, I can say, it are more related to handling the data. And some of the products that are more focused on the machine learning part are like Vision AI. It is more, it is used to train, or we can use the custom like they have already created previous models, we can use them, or we can create our own for like test for sorry for like text detection, or for in a picture we can detect what are the emotion, like whether a person is happy, sad, and based on that we can take our future decisions. Like, thank you. If you have any questions, you can ask them in the chat section.
Thank you so much, Ayush, presenting.
Yeah, yeah, sure.
Thank you. I'm sure a lot of you heard him, and there are a lot of questions. So if you have any questions, just type them in the chat box. I'll just present my screen. I have a little bit of an internet issue. If at any point my voice starts breaking, any of the hosts kindly unmute and tell me. I'll just stop my video. Is my screen visible? Kindly write in the chat box, everyone, if my screen is visible to you all. Great. Thank you, Vikrot. So, guys, now is the part that we'll be starting with the actual thing that you all joined in for. That is the 30 days of Google Cloud. So, I'm sure a lot of you registered for it, and a lot of you have got the confirmation email as well. But as for those of you who have not got the mail yet, don't worry. Let's wait till Monday. If you still don't get the mail, then maybe we can report it. A few of the reasons why you couldn't get the mail is first that Google has deliberately, limited the number of responses, limited the number of emails they send in a day to avoid any spams. Second is that you might, like, this is a very rare possibility, but you might have written the wrong Qwiklabs ID, and in that case I'm really sorry, but we cannot do anything. So let's just wait till Monday before moving on to any irrational decisions. So this is the email that you might have gotten. This might be in your spam folder or in your promotions folder, or you might have gotten it as a simple email altogether. So what it says is, congratulations, you are enrolled in the program, and it gives you certain instructions that you need to follow to activate your account and to get the credits. So first of all, what you have to do is you have to open in the incognito window. Now what I did was I didn't have to open the incognito window because I used the Chrome browser. Kindly be sure that you use Chrome because Microsoft Edge or Mozilla Firefox may or may not be supported by Qwiklabs. So kindly be sure to use the simplest way out, use Google Chrome. After that, you have to open this link and you have to post the unique code that you were given. Okay, the unique code is unique for everyone. Kindly don't share the code. I have already activated my account, so it does not matter if you use this code or not. Kindly use your code when you are activating your account. After that, kindly be sure that you follow all these steps in the correct order so that you get the correct credits. Now, I have already done this on one of my accounts on which I registered, but as the facilitator, I already got 9 credits on a different account, and you can activate your account in the same procedure. So I'll just explain to you what 30 days of Google Cloud actually is, and then we'll move on to Qwiklabs. Okay? I hope that's okay. So this is my screen visible to everybody? Can you confirm in the chat box, please? Okay, great. So yeah, this is the actual event website with the Google that tells us what 30 days of Google Cloud is. I want this to be very clear that you guys understand that this is free for everybody who have registered. When you actually do this event on Qwiklabs, you have to pay. If you do this event outside 30 days of Google Cloud, if you try to access Qwiklabs, you have to pay a certain amount, and that is in US dollars. So this is a great chance for you all to learn and to complete all the labs, because these skill badges that you get here are actually valid in your resume. Let me tell you, I completed one track last year and I still have those badges on my resume, and they really help you in the future if you want to pursue your career as a cloud engineer. And what better way to pursue your goal than to actually have a hands-on experience. Now you might be thinking it's very difficult to like actually code, but let me tell you, there's a surprise for you all that you do not have to code at all. Everything is given to you. All you have to do is understand, and you have to perform the lab. It's very easy. You won't have any problems pertaining to the coding and stuff. As far as it is concerned with the part where you have to actually execute the code, if you have any problems with that, I'm sure we will be able to help you. So this is the introduction of the cloud. You can read it out. I have shared the link. I'll just share it again in the chat box so that we are all on the same page. Okay, so yeah, this is the basic introduction, and a very important question as to why should I enroll in this program. uh, I know for a lot of you, the attraction is the goodies from the Google, and trust me, it was the same for me last year. But when I actually did the program, I understood how important it is to gain some hands-on experience in a field that is totally trending right now. I mean, it is a like right now, Google Cloud is a fad. Everybody who wants to do something in engineering is either working on AWS or is working on Google Cloud. And whether you work on any of these services, you have to pay an amount if you are not doing it through a campaign. So here what you get is, first of all, you get skill badges. What you have to do is you have to perform a lab, you have to perform certain number of labs for one skill badge, and as soon as you're done with the labs, you get that skill badge, and you can actually add it to your resume. You can share the skill badge on your LinkedIn. You can add it to your profile that yes, I am certified as a cloud engineer, I am certified to deploy Kubernetes, and anything like that. The second thing that has attracted a lot of you, and I'm sure you all are excited to have, these are the goodies that you get from Google. And that is really subjected to the completion of your tracks. I am actually wearing this t-shirt right now, so I wanted to show you all that yes, you get the credits. It's not a hoax. You get the goodies. I have the stickers as well. They are already on my laptop. So This is subjected to the completion of tracks. So I'll just get back to the goodies and stuff. Let's cover the program syllabus first of all. As I already told you, there are two tracks. First is the Google Cloud Engineering track. In this track, you will be acquiring 6 skills, and each skill has about 5 to 6 labs. So that means in order to get this skill badge, that is create and manage cloud resources, you have to complete about 6 labs. At the end of each skill batch, there is a problem solving lab, that is a test lab. So don't worry about that. We will guide you through the procedure of that whenever you reach it. Till then, we will ask you to just complete the labs. After that, these are all the skill badges that you will be doing in the first track. When you complete one track, you get a certain set of goodies. If you complete both the tracks, you get a certain set of goodies. The second track is this one, and here you will be acquiring 6 skill batches as well. These are the 6 skill batches that you will acquire, and each skill batch consists of about 6 to 7 labs. Now, this may sound very cumbersome, but don't worry, when you start doing it, when you actually start understanding this will not seem like a task to you. I mean, if you sit for a weekend, I'm sure you can complete about 3 batches, and it's not an issue. I mean, to be honest, I completed the first track in a whole week. Like, I took the whole week, I sat on my laptop, and I just completed the whole thing. And it's really interesting when you get into it. So, this is the prize rules, the one thing that everybody is waiting for. So, first of all, about your subscriptions. Last year there was a credit system, but this year you get a monthly subscription. So as soon as you do the introduction to Qwiklabs lab that we will be doing right now, you will get a monthly subscription, and in that monthly subscription you can do any lab as many times as you want. Last year it was credits. We got about 600 credits, and we could do some of the labs for about 2 times or 3 times. Because sometimes what happens is that you get stuck at a point where you're not able to revert back, you're not able to roll back. So you have to start the lab again. And don't worry, this time you won't have to, pay for any credits, because you will have sufficient amount of credits to do all the labs that you find difficult at least twice. So when you complete one track, you get a t-shirt and a sticker pack. And trust me, these t-shirts are very good. I mean, when you walk around the campus, seeing your seniors, seeing your juniors wearing these shirts, it really feels good. And these are the stickers that you get for completion of one track. It can be either the first track or it can be the second track. But we would suggest that you complete both the tracks, because this is all about acquiring skills. And if it is about goodies, then I'll show you something really good. If you complete both the tracks, you get a t-shirt, you get a Google Cloud bag, you get a bottle, and you get a sticker pack. So when you complete both the tracks, this is the set of goodies that you get. For one track, this is the set of goodies that you get. Please note that if you start your subscription tomorrow, that is 27th September, your subscription will end on 27th October. That means if you wish to avail any of these goodies or any of the skill batches, you have to complete your labs before 27th October. Also, till the time you do not cover one full track, you won't get any of these goodies. So please be sure to complete at least one track. I am sure this is clear. Does anybody have any doubts? If yes, kindly type them in the Q&A. I'll be happy to answer them. Any questions? Okay. My voice is not cracking.
It's fine.
Okay, thank you so much, Ayush. Okay, so without wasting any time, let's just move on to the fun stuff. Okay, so when you open this 30 Days of Google Cloud website, you will find the links to all the labs that you have to perform. But first of all, make sure when you open Qwiklabs, you log into the account in which you actually registered. So basically, I got credits on this account, and I have to log into my Qwiklabs account using this account only. Once I sign in using my unique code, it will guide me to the Qwiklabs platform, and then I have to open my account. So here I have about 9 credits. If you have got the mail, you will get these 9 credits as soon as you activate your account using your unique code. After that, what you have to do is you have to open the Qwiklabs platform and you just have to search for the lab or tour of Qwiklabs and Google Cloud. This is a free lab. You can do it as many times as you want, but this lab does not offer you any credits or something. So if I just roll back, if I just go back for a minute and I show you the home catalog. This is what the Qwiklabs platform looks like. All these all these quests, you can do any quest you want, but for availing the goodies, you have to complete one. You have to complete one of these tracks. Okay, the data science and machine learning track or the cloud engineering track. So if I open any one quest randomly, you have to first of all enroll in the quest. See here, you can see 14 credits. That means every lab is paid using credits, the credits that you get. I right now I have 9 credits, so I'll just start with the tour of Qwiklabs so that I can avail my monthly subscription. I'll just search for this in the catalog section, and here is the lab. Also, this is your account, this is your profile, this is your settings. In the previous versions of Qwiklabs, we used to get our public profile in a separate dialog box right about this place, but now we have a public profile here only. So I'll just open this lab. For completion of a lab, like if you've completed a lab once, but you wish to revise that lab, you have to spend at least 5 minutes in a lab to complete it. For this lab also, you have to spend at least 5 minutes in order to show that this lab is completed. So what I'll do is I'll just explain this platform to you once. When you look here, this is the name of the lab. This is the time, that is the average time required for the lab. Like for an average person, it requires 45 minutes to actually read through the content and go through the lab. This lab is free. If this lab was to suppose cost something, the credit amount would be written here. Suppose 5 credits, 14 credits, anything. And this is that I have rated the lab. I have done this lab before, but I am doing this again to show you. Okay, so this is all the information, this is all the course outcomes, this is all the information that will be covered in this lab. So what I have to do is in order to start any lab, I have to click on start lab. Okay, a very important thing, when you start a lab, there will be a marking written over here out of 100 or out of 50. That means there are certain tasks in the lab that you need to perform in order to, like actually confirm that I am doing this. So what you have to do is, you don't have to do anything on this page. This page is just for your instruction. You have to open the Google console from here. You have to use these credentials. When you sign in here, you don't have to use any of these accounts. You use another account. You copy this username and this password. Now, why we're doing this is that we are creating a different environment to work on the Google Cloud platform. This will enable us to use any of the services that Google Cloud actually provides on the Qwiklabs platform. We cannot use this on our personal accounts. Please keep a note of that. Now I have to accept this. You don't have to save this account and password because it is separate. It is different for every lab. So if these are the credentials for me, these will not be the same credentials for you. And for every lab, these keep on changing. Okay, so you in my country is India, and I agree to the settings, and this is the actual Google Cloud platform. I know this sounds a lot of tedious work, but trust me, when you get a gist of it, when you start understanding it, it's one of the easiest things that you can do. So I'll just give you a tour of this. This is your profile. Kindly be sure when you're doing your labs that the profile that is written here is the same as the profile that is mentioned here, because if you are suppose logged in from your any other account, you won't be able to use any of these services unless you pay for them. This is the account that is written here, and this is the account that I'm using here. Okay, I'm sure this is pretty much clear. Then this is the navigation panel. Once you start reading this Qwiklabs tutorial, you will understand. I will not read the whole thing. You can read it on your own. I mean, 45 minutes is a lot of time for you all to go through it. Please be sure that you read it at least once so that you actually understand what the platform is all about. Okay. This is the picture of this platform only. It will explain to you what the start button does, what the open console button does, what all this is about. For every lab that you do, you have to open the Google console and you have to perform the steps that are mentioned here. All these steps. Each lab is priced as a credit, and credits are actually equivalent to a US dollar. So basically, if a lab is costing 14 credits, for actual people who are not a part of this program, it will cost $40. So I mean, I hope you guys understand what kind of money that is, because if you actually try to complete all the labs, it costs about 200 US dollars, and you are not using any of that, you're using credits. So please be sure that you avail this opportunity to its maximum, because this is something that you're getting for free. You don't have to do anything, you just have to give it your time. These labs are all free for you, but you just have to use your credits. This specific, I told you the time specifications and the score. Like I told you that your lab will be graded out of 100 or 50, whatever the score of each lab is. Like see here, you can see, can you see this out of 250? So your labs are actually graded, and once you get the full marks in each lab, your lab is completed. In case you're not able to complete a lab due to inavailability of marks, or you have not completed a task, you can restart the lab. There is no limit to how many times you can restart a lab. You have to be very sure that you read all the instructions before doing a lab, because if you get stuck in middle, it won't be very easy for you and as well as us for actually guide you through all the things. Please be sure that you read everything. Now these questions that are there, these are just for testing your understanding. These do not these do not go for any marks to your lab. They do not add any marks to your lab. These are just for your understanding. So let's just go about these questions. Let's see if you have understood anything. Now this builds a temporary environment in Google Cloud. What do you think could be the answer to this? Kindly write the answers in the chat box. Which one of these do you think creates a temporary environment in Google Cloud? Score, start lab button, credits, or time? Yes, exactly. That's correct. When we click on start lab, we create an entirely new temporary environment in which we can work. That's great. When the timer reaches 00, you will lose access to your temporary Google Cloud environment. Is it true or is it false? Yes, exactly. It's true. So kindly be aware that you do not spend a lot of time on one lab. Kindly be sure to complete the lab before the time runs out. Otherwise, all of your progress will be down the line. You won't be able to access it. You would have to do whole lab again. Some labs have tracking which scores your completion on hands-up lab experiences. True or false? Yes, exactly. That's true. And the marking that is done for your labs is based, that is actually a way of tracking your progress. So basically, if you are doing a step and you have completed that step perfectly, your lab will be graded. Once you start doing it, you will understand what all I am speaking right now. It may sound very tedious to you, but don't worry. In order to receive completion credit for a lab that has tracking, you must complete the required hands-on lab activities. Is that true or is it false? Yes, exactly. That's true. You have to complete the whole lab in order to, successfully get that, yes, you have done this lab. Okay. This is all, this is everything I told you. This is your console panel. You have to use these credentials to log in, and once you've logged in, you will understand everything. This is the project ID. You will not have to use this project ID in your initial labs, but once you start doing the intermediate labs, you will understand what the use of this project ID is. You sign into the cloud using this email ID. Do not use your personal email IDs, because you won't be able to use any of the services if you log in with your personal email ID. This is all the things. You don't have to generate a recovery account for this as well, because sometimes you might get that request. Don't do that, because this is just a temporary environment. As soon as I close this tab, this email ID will be deleted forever. So don't do that. Okay. Okay, this is the console. Which field is not found in the left pane? Left pane is this one. Which field is not found here? We have the open Google console, we have the username, we have the password, and we have the project ID. What we don't have is the system admin. The username in the left panel, which resembles this, is a cloud IAM identity. Yes, it is a cloud IAM identity. This is a basic. This is basically creating a temporary cloud environment, and it is your identity on the Google Cloud Console. Okay, so now that we have signed in, there are a few prerequisites that you have to do. Some APIs that you have to enable, and the Google Cloud Console that you have to enable. Okay, so I'll just move down from all this. You can do all this on your own. Don't worry, you don't need my help on this. So, right, this is the navigation panel. Okay, you can see it here, navigation menu, and you can see all these services are available to you. You can create computer engines, you can create big data queries, you can do anything here as long as you have the proper instructions of doing it. So what we're going to do is you can explore this platform on your own. I won't be able to, like do the whole lab with you. I'll just explain to you what you really need to do. So roles and permissions. What you can do is when you go to this, when you go to the navigation and you go to IAM and admin, you can go here and you can check the permissions that your account has. This, you don't have to update anything here. You can just check out for the fun of finding out. Then what you can do, what you have to do is, now this is something that you actually have to do. You have to go to the navigation menu, you have to go to APIs and services and library, and you have to enable an API. Here's the APIs and services. I go to the library and I have to enable the API that is named as uh, dialog flow. Now you have to enable this API only once. You don't have to do it before every lab. You just have to open it. You have to enable the API. I have already done it, but I'll do it again. Like, this is not the account I worked on previously. So you have to just enable this API and it will work for all the labs. You don't have to do it again. So now that this API has been enabled, now my work here is done. I can just exit it and go back to my home screen. Okay, after that, what I have to do is I have to enable the Google console. Cloud shell. Okay, so cloud shell, on this here is the cloud shell. You have to click on this. So basically, I'll just explain all this to you. This is the cloud shell. All the labs that you do, all the coding that you do, you have to do it on the cloud shell. You open the cloud shell and then it will ask you to continue, and it will ask you to authorize that it is you who is working. So this shows your progress. This shows any services that you have enabled, and this is for FAQs if you might have any doubts or something. This is for the settings. If you want to change any settings, you will not have to change any settings. All you have to do is this shell and all these things in the navigation menu. So I'll just go here, and this is where my work gets really easy. I just have to copy this from here and I have to paste it here. This is all I have to do when it comes to coding. You don't have to code the codes to the length, because I know that is not something that we all are very good at. I am also not very good at, like machine learning coding. So this is something that makes this work very easy. You just have to copy paste the code from here. You can read all this, and you have to make sure that you understand this, because in the later stages of the labs you don't want to get stuck, and you don't want to like go all the way to the top and start the lab again. Now I'll just paste the commands that it asks me to, and I'll just be creating a text file here. I don't think I need to explain this code to you, because all the explanation is written over here. You just have to read it, and you just have to copy paste the commands here. Okay, so a very important note for you all. This is the place where I got stuck a lot last year. This opens the Nano console, and if you don't follow the steps as written here, I am pretty sure you will get stuck. So what it writes here is that I have to copy paste, and please note this message, type in the message, and please do not press enter. So what we're doing is, these are the only commands that work in this Nano console. You cannot use any other command. So what it tells me to do is that press Control X, then present Y, then press Y, and then press Enter. So what I'll do is I'll press Control X. It asks me if I want to save the modified buffer. You can read about all this, and I'm pretty sure you will understand that. I said yes, and I'm pressing enter. Now I'm out of the console. Please be sure that when you enter the nano console, please be sure that you perform all the steps very, like by keeping a proper eye on things. Now I'm just copy pasting the things here, because I have already done this lab. And now that I have reached the end of the lab, see, all this was written here and I have completed all of this. I read through all of this. You guys, please make sure that you read everything when you're completing a lab. And once you complete a few labs, you will understand that first few points you don't have to read at all, because they are some basic points. So now that I am here, it is telling me to end the lab. So a very important thing, you must end your lab only if you're done with the lab, or if you get stuck somewhere and you are not able to find a way out of it. Once you end the lab, all the progress that you've done will be lost. See, it's written all done. If you end this lab, you will lose all your work. You may not be able to restart this lab if there is a quota limit. Also, a very important point to note, some labs have a quota limit. That means you can only perform certain labs a certain number of times in order to avoid, resource inavailability, because a lot of people are doing these labs. I'll just submit it. I can close this because my work here is done, and I can just rate this lab anything I want, and my work here is done. Now my this lab is completed. I just need to refresh and let's see if we have the credits. I hope I have got the credits. No, just let me refresh once. Let me log in again. Just a second. Yeah. So I've logged in again, and see, I have my monthly subscription here. So now all I have to do is I have to go to the 30 days of cloud. I have to click on the track that I want to complete. I have to click on the skill batch that I want to complete, and it will straight away guide me to the page, and I can just start working on the lab. You have to first of all enroll in the quest. I have already done that. Please be sure that you just first of all, what you can do is, what you can do is you can search the lab on your Qwiklabs profile. You can enroll in the quest, and then you just have to complete the labs. I'm sure all this is clear to you all. If there is still any doubt about of Qwiklabs, kindly type them in the chat box. I'll just stop sharing. So, any questions, guys? Okay, there are questions in the Q&A. Answer questions. If you have any questions, okay, here. Without the credential mails, how can we start our labs? Arjun, you cannot start your labs without the credentials mail. That's why I'm telling you to wait for some time, so that by Monday, if you don't get the mail, we will report it to the Qwiklabs team. Also, one very important thing, just a second. I'll just present my screen for once again. A very important thing, that if you face any doubts, if you face any kind of problems in the middle of the labs, all you have to do is you have to reach out to the Qwiklabs support. Okay, don't worry, they will get back to you as soon as possible. I'll just stop sharing. Okay, I'll just read your questions. These questions are already answered, but I'll just read them once. So yeah, Arjun, I hope your doubt is clear. Mail is received, but I didn't receive any credit points. It's still zero. Gulshan, kindly try to do this process again. If it is still not working, kindly text me and then I'll look into it. Shiv, not received any code yet. I'm sure you will get it soon. If you don't get it by Monday, kindly get in touch with the DSC lead of your chapter if you have registered. It is costly to buy credits as if we don't receive the mail. It is very costly to buy credits if you don't receive the mail, but I'm pretty sure you will get it. And I'll try my best to make sure that you get the credits. Is there any option to use VI editor over Nano editor? See, these codes are pre-described, they are predefined. You cannot edit these codes. If it says that you have to perform a task in the shell, you have to perform that task in the shell. One thing is very important to note, that if you don't perform the labs according to the sequence they have mentioned, you will not be able to get any credit. You will not be able to complete the lab. So I guess these are the questions there were. Any other questions that you guys have, I will be happy to answer. Just share the questions that you might have. Also, Rishabh, kindly share the link of the form that was designed. So, guys, what you have to do is, we will be sharing a form with you. Kindly take your time and decide on a track that you wish to do first. Either you want to do the cloud engineering track first, or you wish to do the data science and machine learning track first. We will then be dividing you into two groups, so that it becomes easy for you and us to track your progress. Ajay, we will try to make sure that you get the code as soon as possible. If you don't get it by Monday, I will personally report it to the Qwiklabs team. Don't worry about it. Any other questions? Since there is a lot of chat, you guys can also post your questions in the general. Okay, thank you, Rishabh. So what you have to do is, you have to fill this form and you have to mention the track that you wish to do. If you have not received the mail yet, just select the I have not received the mail yet option. And I'm pretty sure that you will be able to, get some insights into the program. Once you select on a track that you wish to do, just quickly activate your account after this session. Activate your account, and in case you face any problem, kindly show the track page again. Okay, sure. Just a second. I would have to reopen again. Uh, just a second. I hope my screen is visible to you all. So, guys, this is the program syllabus. This is the first track, cloud engineering track, and this is the second track, data science and machine learning track. Just go through the tracks, understand what their purpose is and what your interest is, and choose a track that you wish to do first. If you wish to do the cloud engineering track, select track 1. If you wish to do the second track, select the track 2. And we will try to make sure that we host some cloud sessions in which you guys can do the labs together. After you guys select a lab that you have chosen to do, we will divide you in groups of 3 or 4, or you can do it on your own. You can divide yourselves in groups of 3 and 4, and then you can do the labs together. What the benefit of that is, that first, you will be able to do the labs quickly. Second, you will be able to actually help each other and pool your resources in case there is any problem, because we are third year students and we may not be available at all times. We will try our best to make time for you all, but if we are not able to, just be rest assured that you guys can help each other. Okay, any doubts here? Q&A is.
Can I just add one point?
Yes, sure.
Hi, Isha. You have asked that whether you can use an VI editor over Nano editor. So yeah, sure. Both do the same purpose. So like, but in VI, there is some little bit. I can say there is different way to save a file. So that if you know the if VI is available in the GCP, I can say that. Yeah, Dhwani, you can proceed.
So much, Ayush. There's a question: is there option to do both the tracks? Yes, you can do both the tracks, and we will be trying our best to get at least 50 people to do both the tracks. But you have to start from somewhere, right? You have to choose one track that you wish to actually start from. So just select the track that you wish to do. We will try our best to make sure that you guys do both the tracks if you are interested, because we don't want that you guys stop in the middle of everything and you guys don't do the tracks, because at the end it will be loss of those people who are not able to register. Guys, it is very important that you understand that you have taken someone's place to be here, because there were a lot of people who were not able to register. I mean, After the registrations closed, I got about 70 messages from different people who were not able to register. And it's not just for our college, it was for colleges from across the country. So please be sure that you understand that you are here and you have taken someone else's place. So if you don't complete the tracks, you're doing injustice to yourself as well as that person. So please be sure you complete you complete both the tracks if possible. If not possible, try to complete at least one track. So are there any other questions? Has Vinayak joined in? I, I don't think he has, so not a problem. Guys, if you have any questions, we'll keep the Q&A open for about 2 minutes. If you have any questions, great. If you don't, then we'll just end the session. Okay. Which tab do you wish to do first question? Which email is referred there? This email, Shiv, are you from MIET or are you from VIT Chennai? Okay, you're from VIT Chennai. So this form is only for the students of MIET who wish, because your a link for your chapter will be shared by your cloud facilitator, that is Kaushal Santosh. Kindly get in touch with him for the same. This form is only for the students of MIET because we have to track the progress of our students. For those who for answering the questions for the whole audience. You will get the email by Monday. If you don't get the email by Monday, then we will report it to the Qwiklabs team. You can choose any track you wish to do. Uh, I hope that answers your question, Shiv. Are there any other questions? Okay, great. Any other questions? Uh, we have to just fill not received email yet in the form right now. If not, yes, just fill I have not received the email. Once you get the email, just text me on WhatsApp and I will share the link of the form again with you, and then you can update which track you wish to do. Right now, all the people who have got the credits and they have started with their work, they can just fill the form and start with the labs. You just start with the labs. If you face any problem at any point, you can just get in touch with us on the cloud group. I have opened the group for anybody can message. So if you face any problems, you can just text us there. Are there any other questions? I don't think there are any other questions. So thank you guys. Thank you so much for joining us today. Thank you, Ayush, for addressing us, and thank you to all the core team members. WhatsApp group link. I don't think I can share the WhatsApp group with you link with you, Shiv, because you are a student of VIT Chennai. Kindly get in touch with Kaushal Santosh, and if you don't have his contact number, kindly text us on our Instagram page at GDSCMIT. I'll forward your username to your GDSC lead, and he will get in touch with you. Which email ID to use in Google Form? The registered email ID, the email ID which you used for filling up the form which was shared like for the enrollment in the program. In first login, I have 59 credits. Now I have 0. Ajay, have you done this program pehle? Like, have you done this program prior to this registration? If yes, the credits might have been from there. If not, try to do the basic intros lab. If you are able to get a monthly subscription, then great. If not, then kindly DM me. No idea. Okay, then just text in the group your query. Just try to do the introductory lab. If you're not able to complete it, if you're not able to get the credits, the monthly subscription, just text us on the group and we'll look into it. Any other questions, guys? So I don't think there are any other questions. Thank you so much, guys, for joining in today. And we are here to help you. Don't worry, don't lose hope, and just be sure that you complete you complete both the tracks. If not, then complete at least one track. Thank you so much. Have a great day ahead.